Hello and welcome back. This is lesson number 5, and in this video, we're going to talk about the body text structure. Basically, this is about what you should put in your content, and as you're writing your posts and your pages, how should you optimize it? So, what you write on your blog post and page should be first and foremost definitely human friendly content, and then, of course, secondly, search engine friendly content. See, a lot of people make the mistake of trying to game the system, trying to make it so search engine friendly that they totally forget about who they are writing to. Google, at the end of the day, really cares about bounce rate. And bounce rate, which we'll talk about later down the road, is basically if somebody stays on your page for a long period of time, or they just come to your page and leave immediately, and Google sees that, and it's not a good sign for them. In fact, if they go to Google and they type in, let's say, for example, survival kit, and they go to your page and they don't like what they see, then of course they go back to Google. They bounce. Google knows that they just left the page and they rate you based on that. Of course, high bounce rate will actually hurt your ranking. So, if you're merely right for the search engines, you're going to have to deal with the bounce rate. High bounce rate lowers your rating. By rating, I mean how long do they stay or how long do they stick around? And if they don't, that will have a negative impact on you. So, what that means is the longer someone stays on your website, the lower your bounce rate is. So, keep that in your mind. The word bounce rate, the word stick rate, you'll always come up when it comes to on page optimization or even search engine optimization in general. To Google, websites with a lower bounce rate must be good. You know, the fact that people are staying on your page for a longer period of time tells search engines that this website must be what people are searching for, right? And this is important to Google and other search engines, as it also indirectly tells them that your site must have good content, and then they're going to rank you higher. So that's just one of the many different factors that you're going to deal with in SEO. And that said, let's discuss some elements that you need to have in your body text. One important thing is you definitely want to stick to one main keyword, and you have that main keyword definitely in the title of your page and throughout your page. So that keyword should be the same one in the URL structure for that post or your page. I'm going to show you this in a minute. If we hop on over to WordPress, you can use your keyword to name the title, and if everything is set up correctly, the permalink or the URL structure should have that keyword. Don't forget that you should also spread that keyword around. Now, you definitely don't want to make it appear too many times, otherwise it will be seen as keyword stuffing. So it should appear in the page and headings 1 and headings 2, which will be in the body text. I'll give an example later on, when we show it to you in action. Remember, the main keyword should always be somewhere in the first paragraph. It should be bold or italicized, but don't overdo it. There are actually ways to get around doing this and make it look natural. You got to remember that first and foremost, you're writing for the human being. So when you put your keyword in your text, you're going to make sure that it is going to make sense to the human. Then, you want to try to use variations of your keywords as well. So, let's use the example that we talked about earlier in the URL structure video, which was about red shoes. So, you want to try to use variations of the keyword or even synonyms. Google, of course, is smart enough. They have this huge database of words that are related. As far as the body text, let's go back the example of freelancers articles. So, up at the top, if we say that our main keyword is maybe find credible freelancers, or places to find credible freelancers, then what we want to do is we want to make sure that it's in the heading 1 and 2. So we could take that and we could put it here. And we could highlight that, and then under this drop box here, we want to do heading 1. So that would be the heading. And then you want to make sure that it's heading 2, but we can do that later. So you want to make sure that the keyword is in the first paragraph. So it says, are you looking to outsource some of your work so that you can focus on your business better? Finding the right person can be difficult, but there are places online where you can search for credible freelancers. Now, let's discuss places to find credible freelancers. So obviously, the first letters are capitalized, as I want to make sure that it's human friendly. And then you can highlight that. It can be italicized or it can be bolded like that. So that needs to be in the first paragraph. You can also have it later down the road as a heading. And if we scroll down here, you can see we don't have an image right now, but we'll talk about that later when we'll find an image and I'll show you how to add an alt tag. You want to do that too. Now, you want to go through this and you want to create variations of this keyword. So let's say places to find credible freelancers is Fiverr.com. This is a good place to find great freelancers. As you can see, we use the word credible. You can mix it up and say good place to find great freelancers or hardworking freelancers. So, what I'm saying here is you don't necessarily have to use that exact match keyword, but you're using variations so that Google knows you're not trying to game the system and you're not trying to keyword stuff. But at the same time, it's a variation of your keyword or it's a similar synonym and it appears more natural. We can go through here, we can do other things as well. That's pretty much the basics of it. But another thing you can do is look at tags as well, so you could add tags to your post. Let's move on to the next video to discuss that.